So the first binyan that we're going to learn in the binyanim section will be Binyan Paal. So Binyan Paal is the first binyan that we're going to learn, and we're going to cover every single category of Binyan Paal before we go back to the original presentation where we were practicing with life sentences. So Binyan Paal is a binyan that has several root types in it. So for now, let us start with kal. Kal, it means regular Paal verbs, and let's see how do we conjugate them. So first of all, this is the infinitive pattern. So I suggest you write down this infinitive pattern. The axis will stand for different letters. Automatically, when you see this infinitive pattern, you can recognize that we are talking about a Paal verb. So this is how our knowledge comes to practice. When we're seeing an infinitive, and from that we can already recognize to which binyan a particular verb belongs to. So now we're starting with Paal, and this is the infinitive pattern of Paal. Verbs, Paal, Kal. Zman Hove, present tense. So before actually we get to the past tense, let's see how do we conjugate the verbs in Binyan Paal in the present tense. Let's see what conjugation pattern do they follow. Let's start with the verb lilmod, the verb to learn or to study. A verb that we are already familiar with, and I'm sure referencing that one will be very easy when we're going to learn verbs with similar infinitive patterns. So let's start with the present tense. So as we know, we have only 4 conjugations, one for masculine singular, one for feminine singular, one for masculine plural, and one for feminine plural. And this is how the conjugation pattern in the present tense for regular Paal verbs looks like. So the verb that we are conjugating is the verb lilmod. So the first lamed is the lamed of the infinitive, so we ignore it. The second letter in the infinitive is the first root letter. The next letter is the second root letter. The next vav is a pattern of the infinitive, so we ignore it. And the last letter is the letter dalet. So this is the third root letter. What is left to do is to take the root letters from the verb lilmod and place them into the axis as follows in the same order. So the conjugation will be lomed, lomedet, lomdim, lomdot. Lomed, lomedet, lomdim, lomdot. The verb liskor, to remember. 4 conjugations, same conjugation pattern. The verb liskor contains the root letters zayin, chaf, resh. So what we need to keep in mind about Paal verbs, when we have a dagesh on the second root letter, in that case is the letter chaf, when we're going to start conjugating it, for some reason we're dropping the dagesh. Don't ask why, it's just the way it is. So therefore, instead of zoker, it will be zocher, zocheret, zochrim, zochrot. So this is the conjugation of the verb liskor. On the second root letter we have a dagesh. In the conjugation we dropped it. So it became zocher, zocheret, zochrim, zochrot from the infinitive liskor. And liskor is the verb to remember. Next example, the verb livdok. Livdok is to check. 4 conjugations, same conjugation pattern. The verb is livdok, and the root letters are bet, dalet, kuf. Well, here, the first root letter, which is bet, has no dagesh, but because bet can be with a dagesh, when it becomes the first letter of the word, it will receive a dagesh. So therefore, instead of vodek, the conjugation will be bodek, bodeket, bodkim, bodkot. The verb livdok becomes bodek, bodeket, bodkim, bodkot. Because the bet became the first letter of the word, it received a dagesh. האותיות בית כף פ' בראש מילה. The letters bet, chaf, pei as the first letter of the word. Each of these letters can be equivalent to two consonants. Vet without a dagesh can be equivalent to the English V letter. With a dagesh, it will be equivalent to the English B. Chaf without a dagesh will be equivalent to the ch sound, very similar to the chet. And with a dagesh, it will be equivalent to the English K sound. Pei without a dagesh will be equivalent to the English F sound. With a dagesh, it will be equivalent to the English P sound. These letters at the beginning of the word will always receive a dagesh and become voice consonants B, K, and P. So just like we had with the verb livdok, when we started conjugating it, it became bodek, bodeket, bodkim, bodkot. And we're also going to see in the next example a very similar thing happening with the letter pei. This rule does not apply to loan words. For instance, física, chemia, physiotherapia, etc. Those are loan words taken from foreign languages. Next example, the verb livgosh. Livgosh is to meet. 4 conjugations, same conjugation pattern in the present tense. The verb livgosh contains the root letters pei, gimel, shin, and since the pei is the first root letter, in the conjugation it will become the first letter of the word. Therefore, being without a dagesh in the infinitive, livgosh, it will receive a dagesh because it becomes the first letter of the word. Therefore, the conjugation will be pogesh, pogeshet, pokshim, pokshot. Pogesh, pogeshet, pokshim, pokshot. And the infinitive is livgosh, the verb to meet. Another example is the verb lilbosh, the verb to wear. 4 conjugations, same conjugation pattern. And here the verb lilbosh has a dagesh on the second root letter, which is bet. And when we're going to start conjugating it, the dagesh will disappear. So instead of being a B sound letter, it will be equivalent to a V sound letter. Therefore, the conjugation will be lovesh, loveshet, lovshim, lovshot. Lovesh, loveshet, lovshim, lovshot. And the verb is lilbosh. Ligdol, to grow up. Also 4 conjugations, same conjugation pattern. The verb ligdol contains the root letters gimel, dalet, lamed. So the conjugation will be godel, godelet, godlim, godlot. Godel, godelet, godlim, godlot. And the infinitive is ligdol. The verb lichtov, the verb to write. Also 4 conjugations, same conjugation pattern. And the verb lichtov contains the root letters chaf, taf, bet. So because the letter chaf becomes the first letter when we're going to conjugate it, so it will receive a dagesh. So from lichtov, it will become kotev, kotevet, kotvim, kotvot. Kotev, kotevet, kotvim, kotvot. And the infinitive is lichtov. Excellent, guys. This was the conjugation pattern of Paal verbs in the present tense. In the next lecture, we're going to learn how do we conjugate the verbs in Zman Avar, the past tense. So that's it for this lecture. I'm going to see you guys in the next one.